Here with three awesome individuals. Obviously, on the upper left, you have the returning guest, GoldenboyNEO. Doesn't have a Twitter, so I just put Neo. So yeah, I mean, sadly, you can't really reach him unless you're actually friends with him in real life. But even then, it's still kind of hard. And then, even then, on the lower left, we have Mr. Chi Duong. You guys probably know him as the main dude, the main lemon squeeze for Canada Cup Gaming, running Canada Cup for like 10 years. 10 years now? 10 years now, throughout all over Canada, Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto, you know, all that type of stuff. Yeah, he's the same person that we played Street Fighter 4 for drinks with, and he forgot to hang up his Facebook call, which was which got a little crazy.
Yeah.
You know. And then we have the up.
Blow that out of proportion, man.
I don't know, man. It was pretty funny actually. And then on the upper right we have my man Almakashi, the best man at the wedding, and he's rocking the Side Games BST hat, Sakura shirt, wearing a Spider-Man Venom hoodie. Obviously, you see his little toys in the background. You know what I mean? Yeah, my man that always talks about the, you know, you probably know him as more of a from the GIF of him handing out money at NCR.
Oh shit, we started.
Right? And then, you know, where Neo bet against Almakashi, so Neo does bet against friends.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely took my money from there.
Right?
Who offered? Who offered?
I'm just saying, you guys bet it. You still bet it though.
No, I was next to you. What about you? Want to do?
Yeah,
Okay,
you took it. Instead of saying like, oh, master, no, calm down, don't side bet. This is a bad side bet. I'ma tell you, right? I side bet.
A great one.
300, bro. That was more than 300 actually.
You know who didn't bet? You know who didn't bet? I didn't bet.
That was man versus K-Brad. I seen the match so many times at home. They were playing, and usually it goes like 30 to 3. Bro, and that 3 counted when it mattered, bro, in tournaments. What the heck? I was so shocked.
Well, Neo owes me 6 dinners.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god, of course.
Neo owes me 6 dinners. I mean, the chat is asking me. It's not just you. It's not me just bringing it up. I'm just answering the chat. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, I guess there's a lot of things to talk about. So we'll start off pretty friendly. I think I can kind of tell where the direction of this first question will be. Is what do you think is better? All you can eat Korean barbecue or non all you can eat Korean barbecue?
No, you can.
Non all you can eat?
No, you can eat.
Yeah.
There's no way. It make it so bad. It's so sloppy. But you know it's cheaper. You can eat all you want, but I don't think it tastes as good because there's not enough time and effort being put in. That's my opinion. What about you guys?
What about you, Neil?
For me, it's kind of tough to beat all you can eat. I mean, the older me would say all you can. And I think still the current me would say all you can eat. I can see why some people, maybe a lot of people, would like the non all you can eat. It seems to be better quality sometimes. I feel like if you have a restaurant, good compromise between the two, that's pretty good too. Wow, that we were going to get. I remember the owner told us every time we went there, or one of the two went, breaking even with pest here. We might be losing money. I like what we can eat.
What about you, Nasser?
For me, you know, I don't eat that much, but I will definitely go for all you can eat. And the reason behind that is, I know it's quantity over quality, but it depends on the place, right, where you go to. And sometimes even if you have all you can eat, they have a better quality there, but they might probably price you higher.
Yeah, so like let's say all you can eat is probably like averaged around like $29.95, right? $29.95 seems like the average of an all you can eat Korean barbecue place in the West Coast. But then I guess for Lapchi, who likes quality over quantity, Let's say how much for a full meal of Korean barbecue that you're spending on.
Well, it's not cheap. I think before the drinks.
No drinks included.
Yeah, $50 about $50 Canadian to $60 Canadian. I'm gonna estimate that around, I don't know, 40, $50 US ish.
See, but that's like you ordering like maybe one piece of meat or two or even two pieces of meat at best, right? So like what?
No, I think quite a few almost.
You're not getting three. There's no way you're getting three full meats for $40.
2 meats?
Oh, you know.
Yeah, you probably get two meats. So okay,
What's that? 2 plates?
yeah, it's like 2 plates of meats. 2 plates of meats for $40.
And a half.
But then
yeah,
you-
2.5 plates.
But then let's say you're with like 4 guys, like four people that can eat. Let's say if it's all 4 of us, are we spending $40 total, or $40 each for I guess non all you can eat or what?
So then we better fill up on the rice. And eat.
I mean the rice is not free as well. The rice you have to pay for after one bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But you think about it, if we're eating with all us 4, we all get about like 2 dishes, 2 types of meat each. That's 8 meat, and it's quality. So if we're going with 4 people, yeah, it's gonna be way better than all you can eat. But if you're going with 1 or 2, maybe all you can eat because you get to eat a little bit of everything, right? Depends on how many people go
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
But then
you just get a little bit of everything, but no matter if it's 2 or 10 people, because like it's.
I love my meat, bro. I love my meat, and I want them to be ready anytime, bro. Like I don't want to have like just cook a little bit, just quality. I want it with quantity too.
okay, so obviously I know Neo's a big fan of all you can eat places, especially like in SoCal. And then Lab Tree is more about the quality over quantity for sure. The finer things in life. But since Almakashi, I think it's in the straight middle, like sort of like since we I lived in NorCal. Which place would you prefer is better? The one that we went to in Santa Clara, or the one in Oakland? That's all you can eat. Because the one in Oakland's all you can eat, right? The one like where K-Bride used to be, right? The EG house.
Yeah.
Or the one me and you usually go to at like that little shop, and you always have to call.
Yeah, the one next to us was way better though.
In Santa Clara, right?
Yeah, in Santa Clara, I was.
Yeah,
way better.
the quality is really good, but
Yeah.
but the price is higher, for sure.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah.
obviously the all you can eat place.
Yeah, of course, it has to be like that, right? Usually what they will give you all you can eat, but the quality will be different. For example, you went to Japan just to eat sushi, right? One time, and you had a 3 months reservation just to get to eat that sushi too, right? So that's quality, right?
Well, it's quality, but it's also because like I saw the documentary, right? So obviously the documentary triggered me to want to go meet Jiro, for example. But if I do had a choice of going to like an all-you-can-eat sushi place versus a like real good sushi place, then you have to choose the real good sushi place, because I think when it comes to fresh fish versus like meat, I think it's harder to be like, yeah, I like an all-you-can-eat sushi place over a real sushi place where you have to charge by like per piece. I think meat could be different. Meat could be easier, like because there's times we've been to really good all-you-can-eat meat places, you know, and then and like let's say the one in SoCal where we went with Snake Tits, the one Parks or whatever, that one's really expensive. It was like really expensive, and then I mean it was great, but like at the end of the meal, yeah, at the end of the meal we were like, fuck, we're still hungry.
Next thing, it was like, I'm pretty full. They had like 2 plates. Right? That's not our MO. So, okay, I think it has to do with like how hungry you are. Personally, I know Justin does this too sometimes. I know I'm gonna go to an all-you-can-eat place. I stay hungry. Like I don't eat breakfast or lunch because I know I want to enjoy that meal later on, and like fully take like advantage of like their all-you-can-eat. Oh, I guess it just depends also on the hunger level. If you can be satisfied with 2 plates, which I usually am not going to be satisfied with 2 plates. Just keeping it real. When I go to those places, then that's great. But to me, that the place that Kmart used to live next to, what was it called? Oakland?
It's the one in Oakland, but I forget what it's called. But we know which one. We know which one we're talking about.
Had like an overall really solid like menu. Like the corn cheese was amazing there. I never forgot the corn cheese there. It's also like about like the appetizers too.
The side dish, yeah, it comes. The all you can eat comes with the free side dishes like corn cheese, the soft tofu stew. But if you go to like a place that Lab Chi would want to go to, you would have to pay that individually, which makes the bill even higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's also that. I mean, you know, I guess it really depends. I think I feel like I've never been to an all-you-can-eat place with Lab Chi before. I don't think we have. No, maybe not.
I wouldn't have taken you, man.
That's not your style, right?
So not my style. I would have taken. Well, you know, if we're gonna go to all you can eat, I would have just taken to like a buffet at the casino in Calgary instead, and then there would be Korean all you can eat. There'd be Korean meat there anyways. If I'm gonna go to buffet, I might as well go for a full buffet. That's all the Asian food, all the seafood, all the Korean beef. That would be a lot better. Yeah, that's of course you guys got a lot of those in California, right?
Yeah. I would say we got a lot of those places in California for sure. But I think the main problem with it is that like California all-you-can-eat places are pretty strong. Like pretty darn strong for sure. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on everybody. But I think that was alright. That makes sense. So let's see. The next topic is how do you feel about today's fighting games?
Almakashi on load here.
I'm just wondering, how do you feel about today's fighting games?
No.
The other thing interesting because we have like obviously your point of view, right? We have the TO's point of view. One of you, if you guys want to go first.
No, we'll let you start first because if I go there, I don't think I'm gonna stop.
I'm just wondering, like, how do you feel about today's fighting games? Like, obviously, Neo played Marvel's Capcom 2, right? So Lap Chi was more of like a Street Fighter 4 player. So I guess that's considered like not considered today's fighting game because it's been already. I guess it's in the middle ground, right? It's 10 years old.
Yeah.
And then Almakashi's been playing games for a really long time. But obviously he came around, like, I would say, in the FGC during the Street Fighter 5 or the end of Street Fighter 4 days. So, yeah. I mean, you see Street Fighter 5, you see Grand Blue, you see Dragon Ball, all these new fighting games coming out. Well, like, what do you think? How do you feel about it?
Man, they're making it easier and easier every day, bro. I don't understand why they do that, but is from a developer point of view, because I'm also a developer, right? So I see that basically they wanna get attention. They wanna make sure that everyone can play the game, right? It's not just a professional gamer that's gonna just sit down and do those really nice combo and all that. So they want someone that plays like for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour maybe, can do something cool, right? That makes you feel like oh, you want to play more of the game, right? Because you feel cool. Oh, I can do this combo, I can do that combo. So let me go just in the future before even going back to the past, right? So imagine the future, because imagine the future where you have Street Fighter.
I mean, let's say PS5, right? PS5 is coming out.
PS5, yeah, you have a Street Fighter 6, right? Imagine Ryu can throw a fireball just by pressing one button. right? Or he can do shuriken by pressing 2 buttons. Or he can do even like a custom combos where you put custom combos when you jump, you press just ABC and then he does all the combo for you, right? And you go to competition with a 25-year experience like Justin Wong that has that experience. The dude, you try to press a button and the guy jumps, right? He jumps and just press 1, 2, 3. What does he do? Do the combo, you got knocked down, he dash, maybe you have an OK there, right? So, and then you at that time probably has a command grab. What do you do, right? So this doesn't make the player a good player though, right? That's a question that we should ask ourselves, right? Because at the end of the day, if that happens, then he will not win the tournament for sure, because he cannot. Even if you see right now, today's games like Street Fighter 5. I'm gonna just talk about Street Fighter 5, right? It's the same people that have been winning for the last 10 years, 20 years.
I mean, there's like hiccups, you know.
Yeah, here and there, because every generation will have new players, right? We'll have new players coming in, strong players. So every generation of Street Fighter will have some players. But if you see, the base is still the same. That's the thing, right? And that's something that I think they should remove it, and they should not let players have that, to me, right? If you want to have that, then they should make it as a custom, right? It's not like for tournaments. Basically, can play casually and all that. That's one of the things. And the games nowadays, to come back to the question, the games nowadays are super easy, making sure that the developers making sure that anyone can play it, anyone can compete, can feel good. I've seen a lot of players in Street Fighter 5 like, oh, they feel good, but actually they're zero. I'm not gonna name names right now, but later on maybe if I feel.
What do you mean they zero? Like you think they suck?
They suck. They definitely suck. They talk shit and all that, but if you see what is there, right? Show me your resume. So if I ask you, where's your resume? You won't show me. You haven't won even any tournament first. You beat one top player and you think like you are God. Like, what do you mean by that? If you beat, and you don't even get out of proof sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, yo.
You beat a godlike player, think about it. You beat a godlike player, you finish, you're like, oh yeah, I'm godlike, and you do like, SF5 shit.
Rise up, right? Rise up.
Rise up. You godlike, your friends comes in, oh yeah, you beat that guy, you beat the pro player, oh yeah. Bro, after that, few seconds later, oh, next match. Johnny Donuts, come over. You have to play against XYZ. You lose. What the heck? This is so stupid.
Yeah.
Show me your resume. If you're a godlike player, right now, if you're a godlike player, see this one. I will sponsor you. 100%. Send me your resume showing me that you play in tournaments consistently.
Yeah.
Send me your resume. You have my Twitter.
A 2-year plan.
And a 2-year plan. I'll make sure that you got sponsored. Because I know for sure 90% of the FGC players nowadays suck. I'm not gonna lie to that. Because they're not labbing. They're not even labbing. They made it so easy.
What do you, okay, like, Justin's point, what do you mean by easy? Like, what's easy now compared to what wasn't
Execution, footsies, I guess, or...
Everything they made, even footsies, even auto footsies nowadays. Even your combos, your buttons put you in the position where you can actually whiff punish people easily.
Okay, but what if like some of the top pros that are consistent, they do very bad at tournament? Then what? Do they suck?
That's what he's
The
saying.
top player,
Yeah, if they do bad, like let's say Nakodu and you know we had Canada Cup last year.
Yeah.
He went 0-2.
Yeah.
You go
that,
0-2?
that
Yeah.
is the game bad. The game is bad. It's designed. how come you keep on top 8? Let me go back a little bit. Yeah, hot dog. Hot dog won a premiere here in the US.
Yeah.
Next moment, directly, he didn't even get out pools.
Yeah, he didn't get out goals.
And he lost to Ryu.
He lost a double Ryu.
Oh my god, I was so pissed.
He lost
That
to
game sucked.
two Ryu players.
That game sucks. It's not that he's not good. He's good. He's definitely good. You cannot win a premier and not being good in any fighting game. That's for sure. Even if in your a premier, no matter what you go to, if you have a player, you are a player and you win that means you're good. You might not be excellent, but you're a good player for sure. You come back and then you lose to Tokido winning Evo. Few days later, he goes to a tournament. He doesn't even get out pools. What the heck is this?
I mean, you know, what if it means that there's so many good players in Street Fighter 5?
No, bro. I cannot see that. I cannot see that in other games. Think about it. A good game, Marvel Tree. Let's take Marvel Tree. You see usually the top 8 is consistent, right? A good game is where you see consistent players because they put time on it. And once they put time on it, they get consistent results, right? You have to also put time. So Marvel Tree, you can see always, you know for sure, oh, this is my top 8, maybe one guy will get in there, right? Or maybe 2 guys will get in there, but it's usually that same around, or top 16 is usually the same people, right? Marvel 2, almost similar. Let's say even Dragon Ball Fighters, that's the game that I'm playing right now. I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it. You can see, it's still the same people. That is top 8. We're still the same people. But why can we not get the same team in Street Fighter 5? Because you know that game sucks. I love the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the game when I'm watching. Because I see people crying. Like, oh man, you see Tokido. Oh my god. I don't know if this guy is gonna do an Abigail combo on me. And Abigail, press 2 buttons, 3 buttons, oh shit, you're done. I'm not saying that Abigail's players are bad or good. I'm just saying that they made the game easier. And this is not something, you should make a game easier, but leave it, if you put tournament mode, right? They activate tournament mode like MK. So you cannot use those simple stuff, right? At least the casual players won't go to tournaments usually. They will just watch, they will watch and then they will go to tournaments here and there, 1 or 2, but they will not go to all the tournaments.
I mean, sure, but I think like I'm pretty sure there's always like scrubby things in every game. Like, you know what I mean? Like Grand Blue is I think Grand Blue is a great game, and but that has 1 button specials that you were talking about. One button specials, 1 button DPs, you know. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, the damage is less, right? And
it's pretty high. The damage is very, very high.
And then no, I mean when you use the specials and all that, the damage is less. I mean when you use the custom ones, right? The damage is less. And then also you have what they call.
It's just the cooldown that's different, but like
the cooldown also is there, right? That makes like the player like he has to think to use that, right? If he use that, that means he doesn't have so many options. In other games like 5, right? You don't have that. Someone in footsies, right? In Grand Blue you can play actually real footsies, right? So if you have a better understanding of the game, you should not lose to someone that does not understand the game properly. I play one of my friends. I will just tell you one thing. Okay. I play one of my friends. He jumped on me in Street Fighter 5 times. I entered 5 times.
Yeah.
And I asked him why did he jump so many times, 5 times in a row. He said, bro, if I jump 1 time, I hit you 1 time, that means a good combo. That's gonna lead into 50-50. I'm gonna come and grab you there, and you have to die because you stunned. So The footsie in Street Fighter 5 is a actually Street Fighter 5 is a hard game. It's really really hard to be consistent in that. And shout outs to all the players that are really really consistent in that game.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's really really hard. I still try to time out people for 80 minutes, 80 seconds, right? Justin. And then the last 10 seconds, you have V-trigger, oh shit. You start sweating and you lose. I seen that.
I mean, today's fighting games, it definitely nerfs my playstyle. Like, it makes my playstyle very, very, like, it's very obsolete, right? When it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could play the perfect, 95% perfect neutral, but usually one offensive tactic can cause something like that.
Yeah, think about it. Marvel 3, right? Marvel 3 had X Factor with all that bullshit, but still it's consistent. Think about it. It's still consistent top 8. They have that bullshit, like all that bullshit that we can see in Marvel 3, but still people find solutions. That means it's a good design game.
Well,
right?
it's consistent because there's many different type of archetypes that can prevent some like risky, scrubby shit, but that doesn't mean it can always hold true. So
Yeah.
But he's saying it's
not always true, but yeah, it's consistent. That's what I'm saying. Like if you put more time, you will not lose to Johnny Donuts.
Well, it's because the game is complicated. Marvel 3 is a complicated game compared to Street Fighter 5 because understanding how to V-trigger someone is way easier to trying to random somebody out in Marvel 3, because the people in Marvel 3 will prevent that because one, your character is forced to take an incoming, right? So if Scrubby player A was like, oh, I have X Factor level 3 Virgil, but the thing is, your Virgil has to escape my incoming before you get to place Mad Scrubby. And most of the time, when you see situations like that, the Virgil players usually just get bopped real fast.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't even get a chance to see that many Virgil attempts. But in Street Fighter, you don't really get that opportunity because eventually your turn will be over, and then the other person can be like, oh, okay, now it's my turn to actually think of doing a comeback.
This is how I actually look at it. I mean, from my perspective, it's changed. For me, it's all about how complex the game is. So, say for example, a complex game would be like chess. Something not as complex would be checkers. Something less complex is 5, something like that. And all have different fan bases and player bases. I understand why Capcom kind of went to like making it simple, because I did talk to some of the staff there, and they pretty much said wanted to attract more people to come play because Street Fighter 4 was way too complicated. But we love watching it, but they don't want to play it. They rather watch it, play a game like Street Fighter 4 or like any of the more complicated games. So they wanted to tone it down so the player base can come in. But it kind of sucks because I'm not saying Street Fighter 5 is like a Connect 5. It's probably more of a checkers level, but at the end of the day, checkers is checkers. It's not chess. You don't have to use all your brain, all your experience when someone can set up properly, and when the setup is correct, they're gonna nail you, and checkers is gone. So for me, I'm playing now. I'm enjoying it because it's complicated with the new PvE skills, and hopefully if they do like more CS and like more things added on, I feel that it's gonna get better. For some reason, I like playing Blanca now. I suck. I keep on losing. I keep on playing. It's weird because it feels like it's more complicated than when it first started. But that's my opinion. I don't have that much time to play a game like Street Fighter 4 all over again because that took way too much time to learn, way too much time to perfect. Maybe Street Fighter 5 is not as bad now. So I guess we're gonna see, this season, next season. But my opinion, it's not too bad to play. It brings in the people, but the pro players are gonna hate it because they already have their own different type of games they like, and it's different fan bases there, man.
What about you, Neo?
Me, I sometimes it's interesting to me why, for example, if we're talking about Street Fighter V specifically, it's to me what I find entertaining or what I find myself to be excited about in like a top 32, top 16, top 8. For me, Street Fighter, similar to what Almakashi says, I find myself like at the casino, to be honest. And it's very exciting to watch it from the sidelines because I'm excited about seeing random stuff that's going to happen because essentially what I believe happened is we sacrificed precision, sacrificed distance, we sacrificed skill in order to have a more exciting, more chaotic product, a more chaotic game. So you gain some and you lose, you gain stuff and you lose stuff. So me, when I watch a game like Marvel 2, when I watch a game like even though I don't know as much as like Third Strike as I do Marvel 2, or even CBS 2 as I do Marvel 2 or Marvel 3, it's clearly evident to me that the tools required to get to that level, you need to sharpen to a much more, to a much greater level, and it requires much greater depth. So when you're watching a top 8 like that, the reasons you're watching the top 8 and you get excited to watch a top 8 for those reasons are much different than the reasons we have now. I watch a top 8 now, I literally look at the people on stage, and a lot of the times they're like this because they know they have to deal with 2 or 3 incoming coin flips, have to deal with situations that is beyond management of control. Like, you can keep somebody out for 45, 55 seconds, and they're like, here we go, baby. The B skill is all the way, or the V trigger is all the way full. This is my turn, this is my chance. And that's the exciting part. Knowing that you footsie and you outzone somebody, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter per se. Like the next 10 seconds is it's what's gonna dictate what's gonna happen. To me, it's exciting. As exciting as it can be when you go to roulette and you bet on red or black. Here we go, baby. What we can hope for is that we get 2 command grabs in a row, leads to stun, and that's the game. That's the ball game, right? So it's exciting in that sense, and yes, it does invite more players. To me, unfortunately, it often doesn't know who was more prepared and who the better player was. And to me, that is a little sad.
That something that, for example, Street Fighter 5 could have done to make it like a little bit better was to avoid all these scenarios, right? For example, why would Vitiger's activations are plus on block?
Yeah.
Right? That's something they could make it minus, right? So people, and let's say heavy buttons, your buttons that activates Vitiger should actually have a lot of recovery on that. So at least when someone throws that out for no reason, you can actually have a little bit more time to whiff punish that. You see what I mean? So small stuff like that will change the game. Because right now, what happens is that someone will just whiff a button like for example, Udian. They will just do this. Of course, nowadays they added like a hurt box and all that, right? But prior to that, they did not even add a hurt box, right? Someone can just do that literally like that, and then you have to second guess yourself, or you have to guess that he's gonna do that, or you have to be in a certain, so that you have to make sure that you are in a certain position that he can actually whip that, right? So you give him like that space, like, oh, he thinks like that. So stuff like that, that is really hard compared to like older generations of fighting games where they won't even try to do that because what's the reward for them, right? There is no reward. Right now you can just throw out crush counter button. Oh shit! And the combos are easier. You can learn most of the combos like in a day for a character, like the basic bread and butter. And then you do that. You do that to someone and you put in the corner. He has to guess because middies are so easy nowadays because you have only few little options on the wake up nowadays. So then it becomes another problem where what the heck is going on. And then while thinking like, oh, this player might be a good player, he won't go for a command grab here because I might jump out. It's gonna command grab you, and then
I think
coin flip. So they
think
need to add more defensive options. But at the same time, when I say that defensive options, more of defensive options, when I see DBZ and I play online, for example, DBZ, nobody blocks. They have a lot of defensive options there, like so many defensive options, but nobody blocks. So that's the thing that I don't know. Even if they put more defensive options, people are gonna be blocking, right?
I think for me personally, just one more thing from my end, because of how the game is made now, and because you're required sometimes, you have to have way more luck nowadays to advance. Not that it's entirely luck. Those situations are more rock paper scissors, more coin flip oriented. A lot of the times you need to do what's called run good in order to get further. To me, that dilutes the concept. I'm just being honest here, of being the best. I feel like in the older games that were much more difficult, there was an internal passion, a desire to be the absolute best, because you knew that you could trust the training, your skill, much more than relying on, I hope these next 2 command grabs land, because if they do, it's going to lead to stun, and so I can get around that way. But if they don't land, I'm dead. So now a lot of players are hoping to survive to get to top 8 and then or to top 16 or whatnot.
Top 8, top 16, what do you mean? It's the same people are in top 8, top 16 from the last 20 years, except that the new ones like the Punk and the items, but it's the same people. What do you mean? Those guys are talking shit. They will still be in that. They're gonna get out pull sometimes, and they're gonna be like, I'm God, like, you know, I'm God, like. That's, what do you mean?
I just don't think that the same goals, the same emphasis on being the absolute best nowadays is as credible or as valid, because like you said, you can win a major one day, then the next day not get out of it, because there's a lack of consistency, there's a lack of strength in fundamentals or in zoning that clearly takes away from the merit of skill. I think that a lot of people are more focused, that in turn pushes a lot of people to be more focused on other goals, like traveling more, getting sponsored. Hopefully I run good in this tournament so I can get noticed and win nowadays, because the game allows me to get that far without having to put 16-hour days and to actually skill somebody that has been playing and knows these fundamentals. Because like you do 50-50 point flip situations, you can do button activation, or like the commands are much easier. So I feel that we gave up skill, certain type of entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, the game, I would say, is definitely easier in today's society, but I mean, it also means that I mean, like, obviously back in the day, the other games, people stayed in their own category of games that they normally are known for. But I think Street Fighter 5 is a perfect example of just more people from different scenes coming in and becoming top players into Street Fighter 5. So does that mean, like, I don't know, I do think the player base for Street Fighter 5 is like really, really high compared to a lot of other games. Like, maybe I would say maybe the most, because even though like you'll have, like, I would say the usual suspects in, I would say, top 32, because top 8 can fluctuate between the 32 players, for example, and even some of the players that don't make 32, they probably lost in pools because of an upset or something like that. But I think the scene now has way more better players, just because of I guess how much easier it is to learn video games today. Because you gotta think like Twitter, event hubs, YouTube, Twitch streams. It's so many ways to learn a fighting game compared to back in the day, right? So that's also another thing. I think it's harder to learn games back in the day because there was less resources compared to now. But I mean, I actually like today's fighting games. I might not like agree with some of the choices that developers make, but I personally am a fan of Street Fighter 5. Playing it, not because of how crazy it is, but because of, I guess, I don't know, it makes me kind of crazy to say it, but I actually like trying to defend against the nutty players. I like to try to try to improve my defense in a way where defense is not a strong thing in the game. Because like back in the day, fighting games, I would say it's pretty balanced, or maybe even maybe just a little bit defense has an advantage or offense has a little bit of advantage back in the day. So, but it was pretty close. Like I would say like defense versus offense now is maybe it's like 80-20, 90-10. But I would say like that 20 and 10% still gives me a chance that I can still pull this off. You know what I mean? But I mean, Capcom does nerf my defensive strategies. So yeah, I mean, I hate them for that because they always nerf my characters. Every time they always nerf my characters actually, so it's actually kind of sad. They nerf my style.
Oh no! You got to look at the right.
No, but I mean I find a different way.
If they nerf you, when you win instead, isn't that much more satisfying?
I mean, yeah, that's why I always have to change how I play in every season, right? Like when I was playing like Karen and I switched to Manat. Then Manat got bodied, right? Then I switched to Poison, so I played Poison for a bit. I wasn't traveling that much last year, but I mean, first time Poison came on, I started playing her. I went to Canada Cup and just, made Nemo look like a scrub. But so it's one of those things where I just played like very good with these characters, and they didn't fuck over Poison yet. Maybe Rose will come out, Elena will come out, and the rise of the defensive characters will come into Street Fighter V. We'll see, because that would be pretty nice. But I mean, I would say it's a hit or miss for today. I mean, when I stream now, I only stream like really old games now. It's really fun to me personally. I do have fun playing old games, but newer games I would say like I'm a fan of, but I wouldn't say I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying to play it or I'm dying to get better at it.
Well, the question is, 10 years from now, will you guys still be playing?
Oh yeah.
Newest of the new games.
I mean, I'll still be buying it. I'll still be playing it for sure.
Yeah, same here.
Maybe not competitively.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna play competitively, but I'm gonna say that I'll be that person that will go to Evo once every year, and that's the only tournament I would go to just to like see everybody and just enter the tournament for funsies.
Upsets like Uncle Vi.
Like John Choi or Valle coming in and then just washing people. You feel me? Like stuff like that. That's what I think I would be doing.
Gonna crush some dreams for no reason.
That's the funnest part about playing those games.
Taking you down with baby.
Right. That's like literally what a lot of people, I would say, just do in general. All right. I think Almakashi took that. Got a lot of stuff out of his chest from that.
I just want to add that the developer standpoint point of view, they actually did a good job, right? They made sure that a lot of there is a fan base on that. Players are going out there playing it. People traveling to make sure that I play. You have more people watching it nowadays. Also, even I would definitely, anytime that there's Street Fighter tournament, I just want to watch it. The reason behind it because I want to see people like get stressed, right? So, and I think they did a pretty good job. But the thing is, for next game, what I would love to see is that, for example, they can leave that easy stuff. That's okay, but they have to make sure that the easy stuff has a downside of it, right? That's one of the things that I want to. For example, activating Vitiger on plus, right? So it's always plus. So why would I activate someone who just activated Vitiger on block and his plus is gonna keep going, right? So stuff like that, they have to make sure that if you do something, what's the risk reward of that, right? We have to pay for that. So that means players can start thinking. They can have that access, they can have everything easy, but they should not let it like make it like a brain dead, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I want there, because if someone puts like 20 hours, right? What's the difference between a pro player and a just a regular player or casual player that comes in? So the pro player will put 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day playing it and making sure that he finds strategies, right? On all that. Then the casual player plays it like for let's say 1 hour here and there, goes online, plays it, and then there should not be, when you go to tournaments and you see them on screen, you should feel like, oh, this is definitely a cool player, right? You should feel it like from the play style. But right now there is none of that. Because if I remove like the names and I put a video of, let's say, a Mika player playing, besides like I know only 2 Mika players or 3 Mika players that plays completely different, but remaining ones, right? When they play, and I put a Urian player play besides Nemo and the other guy, right? So if I put them like that and I just throw it, you will not know who's playing. That's one of the things that you need to have. That.
So you mean there's not enough character personality?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no character personality in Street Fighter 5. Because if you blocked off like the name, you would not know who's playing in Street Fighter 5. But I'm telling you, in Street Fighter 4, I know who's playing. I know which Guile is up. I know which Ryu's up. I know which Blanca is playing. We're all so different. We can tell. Oh, that's definitely Lap's Blanca. Oh, that's his special. You know, that's Ryan Ricey. He's lame as shit. I can tell that Blanca from a mile away. But you don't have that in Street Fighter 5, which is a little sad.
I mean, they did have it, but then Capcom decided to nerf it. It was Manat. You feel me? Like me and Sako were completely different, from like East and West type of play styles, and you could 100% tell. Yeah, and Infiltrate, you could 100% tell whose Manat is on the screen.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But then Capcom said, you know what? We don't want that noise. We don't want that noise. And yeah.
Just to make this go away.
You feel me? I'm just saying, Capcom likes to nerf the shit I like. That's what it comes down to. But besides that, the real question is, are you a better drinker than me? I mean, Lapchi, I don't know. I fucked you up last time. I kind of made you pass out. So I feel like.
Okay, you know what? You gotta stop talking shit. We know what happened. I drank a half a bottle of Grey Goose.
Oh, here we go.
We had 2 bottles, 13% soju. Come on, do the math.
I mean, I felt like one, I didn't see you drink, so because I didn't see you drink, I don't know if you drink the proper amount that you're saying, but people saw me drink, people saw me being awake, people saw me not talking drunk about making possible future children.
Blow it out of proportion, man. It had nothing to do with that. And you cheated. So
How'd I-
run that back.
How'd I cheat?
Yo, man.
How'd I cheat? You said
man.
I couldn't beat you. Dawson versus Blanca. I kind of washed you in that match. I kind of beat you pretty bad with my Dawson. We have a Dawson emote, so it makes sense
Drinking real shots here, man. You're not even drinking real shots. You know what? We'll run it back, and then we'll play for more money. Then it's gonna be fun.
And then
then I'm gonna talk shit.
And then
that's gonna be awesome.
I don't know, man. Well, no, I mean, I already bodied you last week.
Yeah.
So
you, man.
and Almakashi, he's the type that's like, yeah, let's drink, and then he'll never touch his drink. So.
Oh.
No, I drink.
No, you don't. Like you could be. Let's say you drink casually. You could be on your 4th drink, and his first drink will still be at the top.
No, half of it.
Half. 4 drinks to half.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's bad.
I have to be the designated driver, right? So I'm a designated driver, so I cannot drink.
What about the times we take Ubers?
It's still part of it, you know.
Mm.
That's
It's still
tough.
part of it. Yeah. You have to make sure that one person doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Even though you never know
Mm. I mean,
Wait a minute.
how much.
Whose bachelor was I at in Vegas at one time?
That was mine. You fucked me up.
Did
You
not even
fucked
drink.
me up.
Did not even drink.
I told you he doesn't
Like
drink.
2 bottles, and I drank probably one, and then everyone else shared. And I was watching you. You were busy for an hour and a half.
I mean, he doesn't
Then you come back-
drink.
Oh, yeah, it's on the head. On the head, man. Just oh, you're not drunk and you should be fine. But yeah, you don't drink. It didn't even mess you up. I think I only made you drink 3 drinks.
Nah, you
Was it?
messed me up that day. You guys messed me up that day. I couldn't even walk.
I mean, I
Maybe
can
it was-
see.
Maybe it was 2 shots or 3 shots, but I was there.
I don't know. It's just, you know, yeah. You're definitely a poser when it comes to drinking.
Poser.
You're a poser. You're the guy that like having a drink in your hand is an accessory. It's like having a watch. You know, it's that's what it is to
Yeah.
you.
Nah, I
Oh.
definitely drink a little bit.
I mean, I would
Okay.
say the only person that can probably have a win over me is probably Neo. Well, maybe, I don't know. Neo.
Nah, Neo doesn't drink no more.
Neo's a good
Last time
drinker.
you dished out.
No, Neo's a good drinker, but I
He
mean
used to.
but I felt like that one time, the one that I remember the most was probably SCR, where you know we went to visit Almakashi, you know, to hang out,
Oh yeah, he died.
right? And then you died, but I was good, and I had to play in the top 8 the next morning.
That day was crazy, though. So let me tell you, if you guys don't know. So it was SCR, and then Justin and Neo flew after the tournament, the first day of the tournament, a Saturday.
Yeah, after
to
Saturday.
Northland. SCR is in SoCal, if you guys don't know. And it's 1 hour and 30 minutes flight to just come to see me because I was sad. They flew from there one night. We chill out, we start drinking, and then they drove back in the morning.
No,
I was-
we took a flight back. We took a flight back.
Right.
Yeah, you guys took a flight back
To SoCal.
to SCR,
Yeah.
to SCR again in the morning, and Neo was definitely messed up completely. Like he can't even see shit. He can't even see shit. His eyes were like, bro, I think I'm dead. Am I dead? Where are the injuries?
And meanwhile, me, you know, fresh, ready to play in the top 8. You feel me? Ready to play in the tournament.
Thank you. I was straightforward.
Don't even-
That was bad.
We were in the airplane, and like I'm struggling, but I look at you, and you're also like,
I'm sleeping. Yeah, of course, I need some sleep.
you're like, no, gotta play in 2 hours.
You understand that, like, we got back around like 2:30 a.m. and our flight was like 8 a.m. You know what I mean? And my top 8 match was at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's
That was bad. That's why I know you guys are really friends, because I was just sad, right? I was just sad, like, oh, I can't see this, and I was just sad for some reason. I cannot bring it here, but those guys just flew just to come and see me and share me up.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's cool. We're true homies and all, but I think it actually means that I'm a better drinker than all 3 of you, actually.
oh, look, just real quick on me.
Based off the stories I have said, it might be that I might be a better drinker than all 3 of you.
I mean, look, for me, I hardly ever drink at all. I get baited, challenges. These guys always bait me with some type of man of the year, man of like type of challenges, and for some reason my pride won't let me back down. It's like, oh, that if you do this, you'll be man of the year, right? So, I like one time I tried to keep up with K-Brad, which is like very extremely
Oh,
difficult.
that was a bad one.
So I don't drink. I'm not like prepared to deal with the consequences, but I'm hyped at the motivation of the challenge. Unfortunately, it happens for a lot of different things, not just like, oh, see how many shots you can take, which I'm not. Like I get like, but I try my best. It just makes for like good stories like this, like having to come destroyed in an airplane at 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And on top of that, you have to take the turbulence of the plane while I'm in that state of mind that I didn't even ask for. But these guys like, oh, yeah, we know you don't drink, like, 13 shots, man of the year right there. Oh, I mean, you can't, like, unfortunately, that's what happens. Like, we have so many stories. And these man of the year challenges, by the way, they go absolutely wrong for me. Like, oh, we challenge you to eat marshmallow on fire.
Yo, but you faked it though.
You know what's the worst, real quick on that? I actually didn't. It's the worst because I actually did it. It actually burned me, but I look at the video, it does look like I faked it. So
you did fake it.
So I didn't complete the challenge. It burned me, and then I looked like I faked it. Like that I faked that it hurt.
Okay, hold on, guys. So the context of that is like, so we like Neo said, we like to do dumbass challenges, and then there we had a marshmallow. Okay, and you know how when you take a marshmallow and you roast it on the side of the fire. So I was like, yo, Neo, the man of the year challenge is if you take the fire marshmallow and put the whole thing in your mouth, right? And he's like, oh yeah, that's free, right? And literally, we're all watching him intensively, right? He takes the marshmallow close to his mouth and then says, oh, and I'm like, what do you do? You blew that shit out. You blew that shit out and then you faked it. Oh, what? You blew it out. That's what you did. You try to act it out, bro. I know you live in California and Hollywood's around the corner, but bro, that's not how things work. He legit blew it out and then put it in his mouth.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
we might drink some shots and light it up on fire, but you can't blow it out. You have to drink it with the fire.
y'all be coming up with
right, and then Neil, didn't you do the? I think about the hot dog. The hot dog. So it was a hot dog challenge, and then it was like we were. I think it was Evo, and then all of us were hungry, and we're trying to find a. We're trying to find a place to eat, and then they had, this restaurant that, I guess a bar that sells like these hot dogs, and it was like $1 hot dog, and I was like, Neil, you can't eat 7 hot dogs in a row. You can't just eat 7 hot dogs in one sitting. And he's like, I can do it. I can do it.
How big were the hot dogs?
No, he's like, no, I can do it. Right? Obviously, he failed. Like, he was like at 5. He did 5 hot dogs. So he thought he could do 7, and then yeah.
But the hot dogs were stupid big.
I mean, they were hot dogs.
Oh, dog, they were like huge. They're not the ones you get at the store. They have challenges there for that. And I was really hungry. He's like, your challenge, 7 hot dog. At 5, I started to slow down, and these guys are like, okay, I'm slowing down there, huh? It's been 30 minutes since your previous hot dog, and I was asking for more water, and time keeps going. So I eat the 5th hot dog halfway through, and it just got rough.
But you didn't do it though.
That one I'll give you. But the marshmallow was, that's bad.
Which one?
Bad because I sort of completed it, got burned, and then it looked like I flew. I blew it once. It was already like.
You did blow it out. You blew the fire out before you put it in your mouth.
That's half true. Like, it actually did burn me, but it just looked bad. Anyways, that's why when we went to Almakashi's that weekend, or that day, it was like something similar to that. So, and then your challenge, should we go? That's how these guys get me.
I mean, I felt like I survived that. When we visited Almakashi, I had to play in top 8. I had to use my mind. You could have just got back, plopped, and then see you in the evening. I had to play Alpha 3 against literally all the Japanese players. Literally all the Japanese players that came here for that 30th anniversary pop bonus. So these tryhards, you know, and I'm just like, well, I'm not feeling good, but let's try our best.
And weren't you hoping to lose right away? Like, maybe I'll just lose right away. Actually, like,
I got 5th, but you know, like, yeah, I got bodied. And
I'll
then
just say this real quick. I'm very surprised though, because I've heard that the legend of Lat Chi, nobody can take him.
oh, I beat him. I beat him twice already.
Oh, only playing
The
short
last three
matches.
looked bad.
The last 3 weren't bad, but you know, Justin, you have to drink with me toe to toe. You have to drink the exact same as me.
Bro, when we did the first bet, I won.
You played Balrog.
I still won 7-0.
Yeah, well, yeah, you won 7-0 there. You just want to beat me very fast. I can't hang around and try to like time it down the timer so the alcohol starts hitting him. But by the end, it didn't matter. I wasn't drunk, but you were like sloshed anyways.
I mean, I fell asleep.
Anyways, yeah, you fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I would drink another bottle.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I mean, that was like maybe in 2011 that happened. And we're in 2020 now, and all I know is that in 2020 I fucked you. So that's what I know. You know what I mean?
Okay, man.
You're only as good as your last win. That's what a wise man said. You're only good as your last win.
Is that man?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh shit! No, you're over me.
Okay, next topic. You know, obviously people are talking about Street Fighter 6, PS5. Is there a fighting game future for PS5? I mean, did you see the PS? Did you see what PS5 looked like?
PS5. Yeah, I saw the PS5.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about it? It's like, is there a future for fighting games on the PS5, or should we move to?
Is there only one USB on there?
It's 2 USBs, but one USB A and one USB C, I believe.
And what about the back?
We don't know anything about the back, but it's just kind of weird to have only like those 2 specific ports. So I mean, that means like companies have to make new sticks, maybe have to make new converters, new firmware updates. There was no announcements for fighting games, but obviously we know that there are fighting games coming out. PS5 is coming out this year, right? It's coming out what, November or something?
20. It's like officially.
Yeah, right. And then what? The current rumored price for is $700.
But they changed it. The one that I saw yesterday was $499.
Oh,
the digital one is $399.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I didn't see the price, but that's good prices if you think about it.
Yeah.
Compared to before. That's pretty good price. I mean, everyone was like, oh, 600, 700. That's a lot. You might as well just buy a laptop at that point. But I think these are all the chat says it's all rumors, so it's not official yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not official, but Amazon kind of leaked it a little bit on eFrance.
Yeah, but obviously, King of Fighters 15 is supposed to come out, right? Pretty soon. Ed Boon talked about a new potential Injustice type of fighting game that could possibly come out. Obviously, everyone talks about Street Fighter 6. You know, obviously, there's going to be more fighting games that's going to be coming out. But what? I mean, what do you guys think? Are we gonna? Does the FGC have to go to PS5, or will these other fighting games come out on PS4, or are we gonna switch to PC or maybe the new Xbox? What do you guys think?
I'm thinking here, I heard a rumor back Street Fighter 5 is created after the first year. They're already working on Street Fighter 6. How many years ago was that?
5 years.
It was 5 years. Is it 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years now? So 5 years. So they were working on it like 4 years ago. Yeah, we ain't heard nothing. But I'm pretty sure there would be no Street Fighter 6 for PlayStation. It's because PlayStation has not been sponsoring or 5, I think, after the second year.
You mean it won't be exclusive to PlayStation?
It won't be exclusive to PlayStation. It was kind of sad because Xbox worked really good for us for Street Fighter 4, and I just don't know. Buying a whole new entire Canadian dollars so bad right now. The exchange rate is like $1 to $1.50. So your guys $400. It's gonna be $750 for a PS5. That's gonna be insane in Canada. But I really don't see a light at the end of the tunnel for a PS5 and fighting game. I haven't heard anything, man. But it looks a little grim. Maybe we could all move to PC and have a better connection. At the end of the day, I think all these developers need to work on their netcode, man. Because we can't play it anyways. So what's the point of even making these games?
I mean, maybe you're playing the wrong game, right? Obviously, we have Killer Instinct, Skullgirls, Power Rangers, Mortal Kombat. You know, they have good netcodes, right? Those are more of like American developers versus Japanese developers. But I mean, like, let's say, you know, obviously you're known as like a TO in Canada. Like, I mean, how many PS5s do you guys have? Like, would you guys have to buy?
Oh, we have about over 30 some PS4s. That costs them money to buy already, and this is gonna suck because we do host another event. Because we have no idea. No one knows when the next event's ever gonna pop up ever again.
Well, I think the current placeholder is a CEO, right? In December.
Yeah.
Oh no, Tech Showdown. Tech Showdown is at September that they're still holding it. So Tech Showdown in September, and CEO in December. So those are the placeholders for events. So if you have that many PS4s, are you gonna sell any PS4s to I guess lower the stock since you don't need that many PS4s?
Oh, there's still old games that we need to play the PS4s on. Oh, I think they're gonna be worthless because I had like 30 Xbox 360s, and that's just garbage. It wasn't even worth $50 a pop. So yeah, I think we had to we sold what we can, and then the rest was just given away because we couldn't use it anymore. Anyways, but PS5, that's expensive, man. We're already losing money hosting a tournament, and how are we going to buy like another like 30 to 40 PS5s to run a tournament? We can't even rent because Gaming Generations is not in Canada, and then it costs us more money for us to just get shipped over to Canada and ship back. It almost costs the same price as buying a PS5.
Damn.
Might as well just buy a PS5. Yeah, it's just I don't know how the shipping works when I'm chatting with Gaming Generation. It just costs us an arm and a leg for everything. And people don't know. Yeah, it's hard to host tournaments in Canada. It's no money. It's guaranteed loss for how much. I think we were the only tournament that didn't lose money for maybe 3 years. Every single person holding a tournament, small, big, even or lost all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
PS5,
my thing is like about the PS5 is that, you know, obviously the PlayStation reveal happened, right? They showed all these different games, the launch games, and to me, it just looks like these PS5 games could still be played on PS4. They look like PS4 games, right? They look like PS4 games. So I don't know. Maybe fighting game developers can make PS4 and PS5 fighting games. I feel like I don't think PS4 should be obsolete. I think it's a great console. You know, it's nice to have. You could put it on Netflix. You could put it on YouTube. You could do a lot of things with PS4. Like I think I would still use my PS4 if I have a PS5. It just I don't know. I think like yeah, fighting games developers should make games for both consoles, but it does kind of hurt for players' futures and TO's futures because it's like Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom was on the Wii. It's a great fighting game, but it's so hard for somebody to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy a Wii and 2 sticks and the game to play Tatsunoko vs. Capcom for tournaments. That's like literally like a like $600, $700 investment alone, just to play TVC.
And that's what happened also with Killer Instinct when it came out. It was exclusive to Xbox, and Xbox just came out. So personally had to invest money stakes because I was not able to play on pad at that time.
Yeah.
And just to get the game right, and not everyone was having that because not everyone has like that money, right, to put it in there. Even if you have that money, you have to think twice about it to put and buy a console that is just exclusive to a game that is just exclusive to a console, and then you're not even sure you're gonna be playing with people offline at that time because we didn't know how good was Killer Instinct netcode, right? So that's one of the things that we need for PlayStation 5. They need to make sure that the games, like fighting games, should not be just the PlayStation 5 at the beginning, right? Or because if they do that, then that means people, not everyone will have to get the chance to play it. Basically, it's gonna take some time for people to get the PlayStation. Sometimes even like me, when a PlayStation 5 comes out like that, I'm just thinking, should I even buy it, right? Is it worth it, right? To just spend that much money to just get the game. Right?
Yeah.
So stuff.
I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't buy an Xbox One. I went to the Microsoft store. They had a Killer Instinct tournament, and I played in the Killer Instinct tournament. I won the tournament, and they gave me an Xbox One. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna plan to buy an Xbox One just for Killer Instinct. So I'm hoping that same situation can happen where I could randomly win a PS5, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's.
You won a Microsoft tournament for Killer Instinct?
Yeah, they had a Killer Instinct tournament. I went. Me and Flo went.
Right.
And then
where was that?
San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah, and
I won the one in NorCal.
Yeah, and then me and Flo went, and then we got top 2, and and then that was when they fly out the people that won to like Florida to play in like the tournament, and you get the Killer Instinct belt. So I got the Killer Instinct belt for winning that Microsoft store. And even now, to this day, there's people from the Killer Instinct community, they try to buy the belt from me. And I'm like, nah, this is my belt, hold that shit. So...
How much? What was your highest offer?
the white belt.
Yeah, they even message me like, please talk to your man, right? Talk to your man, make sure that he can sell us that. I say,
Like, because there's a guy that's like a super avid Killer Instinct collector, and I think at least every once a year he'll email me and says, hey man, just kind of, you know, checking to see if you lost any interest on that belt and you want to buy it. Oh, he offered I think $1,500, and I said, nah, this is my belt.
Oh.
I like my belt. It's a nice belt. It's a really nice belt.
1,500.
It's a white. It's like a. So what the belt looks like for people that don't know what it looks like. Think of it as an intercontinental WWE championship belt. So it's like a white belt. So it's pretty nice. And I mean, yeah, I like that belt, man. I really do like that belt. It was nice. And I met Macklemore there. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
I mean, overall for me, the PlayStation 5 was the reveal it had some good aspects to it, but overall for me it was just a little lackluster because I just expected like more excitement out of it. Yeah, I was a little bummed out that there was no fighting game. Like I was hoping like maybe Street Fighter 6. There was a very small part of me that was hoping like, man, what if we get extremely lucky and we have a Marvel 4 announcement, right, or something. But a lot of like the sentiments that I have for it are pretty much already echoed what you guys said. It's just the only exciting part about it for me was it was Resident Evil.
Sure.
Yeah, that made it look pretty and fun. I like scary games, the Silent Hill series. But other than that, I thought they dropped the ball a little bit. So I don't know. For fighting games, I've always heard though that a lot of people like the way to get more people involved has always been the PC. Or there's a theory that if the fighting games were on PC, that maybe way more people would play them because it is kind of expensive for just to pick up a console, stick, and then on top of that to try to like get better and then start traveling to tournaments. Traveling to tournaments can get expensive, so maybe PC might be more manageable.
Yeah, but what about if you talk about PC? How do you, as a TO, for example, right? If I put myself in the shoe of a TO, how do you basically handle the logistic, right? Because you have to have so many PCs out there. You have to make sure that everyone has his own stick, right? Someone will come with like a I don't know how they call that stick, the one that people put on the ground floor, like the Donchai ones, for Marvel 2.
The Mastic.
Yeah, the Mastic, right? So people will have that, right? So you have to have the logistics there, right? So you have to make sure that all those sticks works, because someone will, let's say, travel to Evo. He will travel to Evo, and then he has a stick, he practices on that, he feels that, and then now because of the PC, it cannot work, right? So how do you handle all that? And also PC is not easy to move. It's not gonna be like a small thing like a PS4.
Little doggy. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I think trying to get all those PCs is very tough for a tournament because it's expensive, and most tournaments are grassroots related. But that's what kind of like I think trying to get sponsorship is for. So getting sponsors from like ASUS, for example, gotta shout them out. Maybe they would be able to provide like lender PCs for the tournament. Obviously Canada has when Canada Cup they had Memory Express. They could do something with lending out PCs and everything. So it obviously becomes more work for TOs, because I think PC is obviously more fragile and harder to get, especially at mass production work, right? And you have to install the games.
We're able, that's the biggest issue. We're able to get the PCs in, and of course there's why FGC is so poor. We don't have access to the PC sponsors because we're on console.
Yeah.
All the PC parts and stuff, they would call and say, hey, when you're having like a shooting game, PC game, stuff like that. So we decided to add it this year. But now there's another nightmare. But you don't have enough power to power up 100, 200 pieces at your event.
Okay.
It's impossible. And then we went through so much. We were at like different ballrooms at the last Canada Cup, and almost all the power got used up. There was only 30 PCs in one, 20 PCs in the other, 15 in the other, with all the consoles. And we were we had power problems. We switched all to PC. It'd be a nightmare, but I'm sure we could get the PCs either donated or sponsored. I had to buy the games. The game's not too bad. I'm sure the developers can give us free download codes and stuff like that. But still, it's impossible to make it work because we're operating at power than a mid-sized concert.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I think it's impossible for. I think it's also impossible for every tournament to run PC.
Like grassroots, for example.
Yeah. So if you have let's say CPT, right, and then your event is Capcom Pro Tour, and the rule is, it has to be played on PC, right? So pretty much all the ranking events from different countries, let's say Latin America, third world countries, for example, no way they can do it. It's impossible. Capcom would legit have to spend the money to them, right? And would they? Probably not. I mean, people win online CPTs and they only get points, right? So you only get points. It's not money. It's not prize. It's not a trip to the next tournament.
Yeah. I don't know.
right? So it's obviously very hard. I do think it's way easier, sadly, to actually invest in PS5s versus PCs. That's what I think.
Yeah, but if you go PC and if the FGC was PC, would have made such a lot of money compared to like on PS4.
I mean,
PS5.
I would say, I don't know if, there would be more money be made
Yeah.
from a third
More
party.
sponsor coming in.
No, but from a third party perspective, not from Capcom's perspective.
Yeah, from third party, because Capcom will not put that much money, right? They will put till a certain amount, but the third party, that's what makes it better, right? That's where the money at, right? Especially, for example, League of Legends, for example, or whatever. When you play that, if you see, even though is the main company is doing that, is having, but is putting the money in that. So, but the thing is, because you have more third parties in it, you have players that can actually put money, or like fans that can buy accessories. It makes it easier for everyone to see it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the thing, right? So the thing is, if we sacrifice PlayStation 5, if we sacrifice consoles to go to PC, then it becomes problems of logistics. And I don't think the FGC is ready to actually go for that, because we are still poor. We are still in that category, poor category, right? But but if we do so, we're gonna be making money. But that is not gonna give to everyone, though. That's the problem also. Because
Yeah.
not everyone can access a PC.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's
Bring
hard.
your own PC to tournament.
It's tough, because you don't know if you, even if you said bring your own PC to tournaments, because it's PC, people can hack it, right? Someone can definitely put a hack on his PC. He's gonna be player one. He's gonna play Abigail. He's gonna make sure that, okay, when I press this button, you don't know, because you don't know. Only for his stick, right? Only for stick. When he does that, so you press a button, so it becomes like a, what's the name of the guy, the modder online for Street Fighter. Sometimes he type ICU. I forgot his name, but he was a modder online. And basically you become godlike, but you don't know what's going on behind the scene. Or you think like the guy is good and all that, but cheating. Even other games like shooting games, they find people cheating on PC, and it's not easy because we don't have regulations. Even right now on PS5, we don't even have regulations. You don't know even who's using what. Even though they're saying that, except if you're a top player at least they know you. So if they see you using something, people will start like looking at you like, oh bro, what's going on? What are you doing, bro? Huh? Stuff like that.
What about yeah, that's true. So I guess our next thing is that since we're gonna move to the future, what about the difference between, or the importance of online winners versus offline winners? You know, obviously 2020, it's all about, 2020 is the year of online winners, right? And offline winners is clearly what you see in the past, and go to Evo, and there's no issues with connections, and you lose to the person next to you. But what about online? Like, what's the?
I would give a credit to online players. I would give it if only the netcode was good, right? You might have one or two good players online that are really good, but the remaining ones, right? Usually they think they're good, and also the strategies that they're using online is just worse online, right? That's that because of the netcode issue, right? We have issues on the netcode. For example, I don't want to name games. We know already. Even Evo even decided to pick up those games because of netcode issues, right? So imagine you win a tournament online, right? you win a really big tournament online with a lag in one bar, right? Does it make you a really true champion, right? Like if you were offline. I know for sure that it's the same people still winning, though, right? If you see the last CPT online, won that. The top three were the same people that were winning offline, right? But still, the netcode will not validate, kinda. Will check, right? We'll have a check on that, right? Like a dirt on that, like, oh yeah, it's online.
Yeah.
That's the because of the netcode. That's not, if the netcode was like, and we don't have any issues, then at that time, yeah, it's just that the dirt is there. It's still the same people that are winning, online and offline. You can see even Wednesday night fights is the same people. People are talking shit online. Oh yeah, I'm Gala, but you can see it's the same people.
Yeah, but I saw there was complaints about the CPT Europe, where the finals was like Big Bird versus Phenom, and and they both of them legit missed every combo.
There was one bar connection. They play on one bar connection, and geographically, they're actually from, it's like East Coast to West Coast plus something.
So like, let's say East Coast to Hawaii.
Yeah,
So,
something like that.
And then Neo, get this: the winner of that CPT online tournament that just happened this past weekend, that gives the winner gets a spot to Capcom Cup.
Capcom.
Oh my god.
So Phenom won that event where both players are missing every combo, dropping combos, dropping hit confirms, and whoever won that set gets to go to Capcom Cup 2020.
I just think that for me personally, the fact that the lag factor, the lack of consistency in connections, things like that Almakashi was mentioning, unfortunately for the winners or the winner of those particular tournaments, they're just always going to have some sort of criticism attached to their win, because a lot of people miss stuff, a lot of people do inputs that don't come out, things that we already know. Having said that, I think it's somewhat of a reasonable compromise because of COVID, right? There's going to be more online tournaments at the moment. We can't meet up in person and do these tournaments.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, it's a little sucky because I have to deal with the fact that you might be at what, maybe 60% of your potential, 70%. You have to accept the fact that you're gonna miss some command grabs, some inputs, and in some ways it might favor you too, depending on which side of the scale you fall for that particular match. It's just, a lot of people say that I lost because of lag. I lost because, as it is, this is already a hard game to win at. You add lag to it, just, times 2 times 3. So I think you were asking offline winners versus online winners. I think typically people will, there's some valid criticisms about winning online because it's a different game. It's not that game's faithful, complete version as it is offline. I think at least this year, given that we have COVID, I think that's a pretty good thing to say. Well, I mean, I won the online. I had no choice. We had to play online. We couldn't go in person.
Yeah,
so
but there's actually people feeling themselves for beating great offline players in online tournament settings.
Yeah, that's the
At that point, you gotta take the W. You gotta go with it. What do you? I won, baby. Like, what are you gonna say? Oh,
No way, bro. Come on. That doesn't make sense. You can't. Have you ever, like, let's say you go to offline, right? You go to offline. Have you ever won?
What are you expecting for them to win and be like, oh, I shouldn't have won? Like, they're not gonna say that.
No, should not won. You should not go. You should not pop off, right? You should not be like, oh yeah.
They might never get that chance again. What do you like? Come on, man. Like
you're one of those guys, huh?
Oh, I'm just saying.
Those guys.
You guys clearly know how I feel about like online play and anything like that. I'm just saying it's expected that they're gonna say, "Oh, I'm the best now. Look what I did." No, like, look what lag did. Right? Like, I get it. Like,
See,
what are we gonna do?
I mean, you get it, but I'm just saying, that from a I guess a perspective where, like, I would say you should just take the online thing as like yeah, like if I lose online, I'm not gonna think of it as like anything more compared to me losing offline. You know, like if competing was so important to me, I would participate in online tournaments. But to me, because I'm just like, bro, online's not perfect. It's just gonna get me upset. I'm not gonna play online tournaments because I'm gonna get mad. So it kind of, you know, like you're not gonna see me play an online tournament this year, 100%.
I feel you on that. Like I've never played online. Like the very few times I've ever tried online, it's actually very like discouraging. It's disheartening. So like I myself, like them in the Marvel 3 days, Marvel 2 days when they had online back then, or even currently, to me it's frustrating to play online. So I actually, you know, I completely agree with the notion that people should act that way. But at this point, if you end up winning a spot to like, you know, Capcom Cup, just expect it that people are gonna pop. They shouldn't. I agree, because it's not the game's full version.
But still the same people that are winning though. Remember that. The last top 3 were the same people that were in Capcom Cup last year. Still, it won't change that matter, right? So you will see the same people. In East Coast, I already know that the people that's gonna be in there. The West Coast is gonna be almost the same people. But the thing is, let's say you might not. You're giving more, so they're giving more opportunity to players that don't get a chance to travel. I understand that. But remember, the question was online versus offline, right? So winning online with a netcode that is really bad is still a dirt. There's still a dirt on that, right? Because if, for example, Killer Instinct, if someone wins in Killer Instinct, no problem. 90% would have been a centip, basically, online for Killer Instinct. You agree with me, Justin?
I mean, I understand Killer Instinct netcode is great, but there are times where when I play against, let's say, Xbox players, when we cross-play, it's actually pretty laggy. So
let's say they divide it in two. Let's say they have it just for either no cosplay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the thing is you have to make the rules like that, right? So like, so Evo, for example, is like, yeah, I mean, we're only gonna be playing PC versus PC. So if you are on Xbox, you have to get the game on PC. Then sure, the results could be more valid, but it also takes away the factor of actual nerves of a tournament setting. You know what I mean?
Into human interaction.
Yeah, human interaction, all that type of stuff, right? So there's like so much stuff that actually is a trigger in tournaments, and because it's not there, like, and you're playing in your boxers, you know, maybe your junk is out, you know what I mean? Maybe it's out, right? So and then, you know, you're being mad comfortable and shit. But like, I don't know, like obviously if you win, then that's good shit. But to me, it's like, I guess growing up to a tournament since like the beginning of time, I really love the energy of being around people in stressful environments. That's it's really nice. It's I think I feel the energy. You obviously feel the energy way more. But if I'm watching it on twitch.tv/Evo during Evo Online and I see some cool shit, I'm like, wow, that's cool. I don't have anyone to talk about it with. You know what I mean? I can't look to my left, to my right to be like, yo, you know what I mean? Enjoy the moment. And then obviously the Twitch chat is gonna go ham, so you can't even follow the Twitch chat at that point, especially if all those people just going ham with you, right? So I mean, it depends. Obviously, I know some people that can't go to events. They love watching on tournaments. I mean, I love watching tournaments on Twitch as well. But if we're talking about from a scale of Evo standards, I'm like, dude, I need to be there.
What exactly is the stigma of like winning online? Is because people popping off and you think that it's like, hey, win is not that prestige, or you know, why is everybody dislike it whenever Capcom announces it or Evo announces it, or maybe even if Canada Cup announces it.
I just think that I just think for the online thing, it's just there's other like when you're playing in a fighting game tournament, it's supposed to be player A versus player B, not player A versus player B versus player A's internet connection versus player B's internet connection. Like, you know what I mean? It becomes a different battle.
I just look at it as a different game. Like, you're not really playing the game's full version or its full, faithful, real version. And on top of that, kind of what Justin was saying, it's not the same challenge, not the same variables you got to deal with when you're playing with the person next to you. You sometimes, I mean, yeah, sometimes you have headphones on, but then sometimes you hear buttons. There's an environment. People get hype off of something that they saw, even if it's not on the main stage. Like, there could be people just behind you watching the match. Somebody does something and like the little crowd gasps, or like even if you're on stage, the crowd gasps, and that affects a lot of people. So it does test your nerves. It does test your ability to maintain your composure. That is completely removed if you're playing online. So it doesn't. That's where you were saying, well, how come is it that it's not the same? Discredits it. I mean, that's where the criticisms come from, in my opinion. It's just not the same. It's a different win. It's not the same win. And by same, I mean it's not the same full credited win as it would be, because then you don't have the excuse of saying, well, there was lag involved. This wouldn't have happened because of the computer helping you or the connection helping you. That you wouldn't have gotten to top 16 and faced that favorable matchup that then got you to top 8 and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, I'm glad that obviously, because even though COVID did happen and it kind of just threw a wrench in everybody's plans for 2020, it's good that obviously everybody adapted to running online tournaments, right? So it's always good in that regards. But it's just I guess it's just hard to kind of like, I mean, yeah, like when I run a tournament, my goal for the tournament is not to find like only the best player of the tournament, but to really just give out prizes and income for people that rely on, you know, these random tournaments. Just like, you know, I can't wait to go to this tournament because I'm going to make money there because I know I'm the best at this tournament and stuff like that, right? Or even the small communities where when we run games where I want them to have just a online tournament platform because they don't have their regional platforms. Like, you know, like every time you go to a Column Breaker or a Canada Cup or a CEO, you always have like all these different communities meet up to play in this tournament that they'll never have a chance to at their actual local, right? Because the community is small. So that's kind of like my goal. My goal is not to find the best player. It's just to bring people together to play the game that they love. And I think that's kind of the message of all online tournaments. For me personally, unless you're playing maybe Street Fighter 5, where you're like, oh shit, I'm about to cake up this week because this is my payday, right? This is my weekly grocery money, weekly Uber Eats, Postmates money. But EVO Online is, I mean, it's cool. I think EVO Online is more of just like, I mean, I'm looking forward to trailers, game announcements for EVO Online, if that's a thing. I mean, I assume that's a thing because every year EVO has cool announcements from devs. So I'm literally looking for the commercials for EVO Online. I'm not looking for who's the best players in Skullgirls, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, them fighting herds. I'm legit just cares about, alright, show me these announcements. I'm waiting for these announcements. That's all I'm waiting for me personally.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, I think it's a win for everybody. Obviously, if there were no online tournaments this year, it would be like the most boring year ever. We have to give credit to all the tournament organizers just to even, you know, take time and run it.
Yeah, for sure.
And go from there. But there's nothing else out there. We really don't know when events are ever coming back, if they even are gonna come back.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. September. September
is not coming back, man.
I mean, September is the first thing that it's on the board.
I don't see it possible.
No,
Because
I'm not. I'm
okay,
not saying.
China-
I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just saying that from the calendar, like I think the Tech Showdown is the first event that's on the calendar because they moved the date from the original date to September, and then CEO is December, and I think Bum from New York, he had an offline tournament recently. So I don't know if people. I think everybody came over to his house and everything. They had a tournament. They raised a lot of money for the tournament and stuff like that. So I mean, now people are, slowly, be like, oh, it's not too bad, which is a bad thing to think about, which is a bad thing to put in your mind because obviously it should be taken more seriously. But people obviously are getting tired of this shit.
I'll just say that whatever TO organizer, whoever that is, whenever either semi like premier event or an attempt at a bigger tournament, that's going to be a very brave TO because not only the health concerns, but just managing the logistics and the aspects of say health and safety, it's going to be, a very big challenge, right? Like we were talking about this, like sometimes offline. How would you manage people playing next to each other with the whole COVID concern, right? Like you have to put 6 feet apart from them, and if so, that reduces the amount of stations available, at the current time.
I'm telling you, man, esports and fighting game players are not the most sanitary either. They're not going to be using, hand sanitizers in between every single game and match and wipe down the sticks and have borrow your stick. It's a disaster. I was like, there's no way we're going to be able to run Canada Cup. Let's just call it off extra early because, I personally don't want to be responsible for infection or even worse, someone dying.
Can a player sue you?
Pardon?
If they get COVID, let's say you organize a tournament, can a player sue you? And they get COVID when they go to the tournament.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, no, you would have to. That's the thing. For everybody that's signing
A waiver.
You would have to. Yeah, you would have to sign a waiver saying that you consciously assume all of the risks, consciously knowing that you could catch COVID-19. And if you're below 18 years of age, you might likely need like your parents to sign for you. So that's what I'm saying. Like exactly, that's a good point. Those types of challenges are that's a very brave TO. That's kind of crazy.
It is.
I
It
just
is crazy
don't
to
want to
think
make
about.
the news, man. You gotta make the news. Sure, you get one infection, you're on the news. Your brand is almost tarnished permanently. So why even risk it?
Well, I mean, before it got too serious, CEO Dreamland happened like in the beginning of COVID, and there was nothing about anybody getting infected actually. So Jabali did get lucky on that one, for sure. But then obviously after when things got more serious, everything started getting canceled one by one. And then some tournaments actually, instead of canceling, they moved their date to obviously a Texas and CEO. And like I said, Bum had an offline tournament recently. I didn't watch it, but I just read that he had an offline tournament. So stuff like that's kind of crazy. Reflex also, K-Brad's tournament got really lucky too. It seemed like nobody caught anything during Reflex, and that was when New York was like literally like Resident Evil type of state, and I guess maybe nobody got caught, or nobody caught it, or nobody actually went to go get tested, right? Because that was also when testing in America was pretty hard too. So a lot of people couldn't get tested. They probably had symptoms, but they just probably didn't want to say anything. You know what I mean?
That wasn't as available.
Yeah.
That was K-Brad's like back then they were still like discovering the severity of it. It was just funny how K-Brad was like, if we die playing Marvel.
You're like, if I got it, I got it. And I'm like, bro. I'm like, my ass is staying home. You done. What I mean? I felt bad because I really was practicing hard for that tournament. And I'm just like, bro, I just can't do it. I really can't. So there's that. But like, I don't know. It's hard. Like PAX Australia just announced that they were canceling as well. So a lot of events like E3 canceled as well, Anime Expo, all the big events outside of FGC events also canceled.
Yeah, it looks like this year is kind of done.
I mean,
as of right now. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely done. But let's see. We have a Perfect Sin. He asked a question. Coming from a game that lived for over a decade with no patches, Marvel 2, how do people truly feel about DLCs and seasons? Like, do you like DLCs? Do you like seasons? Or do you want the game to stay as an original form and people just keep getting better and learning or trying to get through struggles or cheap stuff or meta stuff?
If the, I mean, the newer generation will not have that, right? The reason behind that is because you want to have new stuff every time, right? So even right now, let's say for example Street Fighter 5 did not get any updates, people are already crying like, oh, where's the new characters, where is that, right? So people just want to have new stuff every time to play. So prior to that, because for example Marvel 2, that was an era where we did not have patch, and I'm sure that if they had patch, people will complain like, oh, this character is bullshit, let's nerf him completely. Storm, how all day they will try to nerf Justin Wong for 7 years or 9 years of evil every time. So it that will happen, right? But now that they have that power, players nowadays, like anything that is stupid, they will say, oh, nerf that shit, and they love it. They love it because they have new stuff to play with. Let's say, for example, they deliver Rose and Elena. Would you not be happy?
Oh, for Street Fighter 5, like adding DLC?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm old, but the thing about me is that naturally I'm always happy for fighting games. Like naturally, I'm happy if there's fighting game DLC, if there's fighting game announcements, if there's fighting game patches, if there's fighting game being played. I'm naturally just happy. So to me, like if you tell me that there's a patch, okay, I'll play the patch. If you tell me that there's DLC, okay, I'm probably gonna learn the DLC characters. So
the only thing that I don't want them to do is to have like a consistent patches. Where let's say 2 months later they just patch the game completely, right? And then 3 months later they just patch another game, they have another patch. So it doesn't give the time to professional players to actually focus on the game, to actually play it properly, have a real, what they call it, the best on the game and showcase that, right? So that's one of the things. So if they want to patch the game, if it's not something that is actually a game breaker, right, or infinite or something like that, then it's okay to leave it for, let's say, patch should come minimum at least 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. So you are okay with patches?
Yeah, I'm okay with patches.
How about you,
But-
Neo? And what if Marvel 2 was like, all right, we're gonna patch this shit?
That's good.
So for me
That's good.
personally,
You can bring new players, right? Even I wanna try to play Marvel too, but when I see where you guys are, it's really tough. It's really tough. So with patches, that means it's a new game, almost a new game, right? So that you have to relearn it, but you will learn faster than what I have to learn, right? So and then some players that already worked on something, they will have to relearn also. So 6 months, I think, is good time, at least to help players to get better at it.
for me personally, so for the current times, it makes the most sense to be able to tweak a game, especially if the mechanics of it or some aspects of it are just absolutely breaking and that you can't get around it. I understand the concept of having to fix those issues, especially if we want more people to join and not be discouraged, because a lot of people, because professionals or people that are very seasoned in fighting games will nonetheless sort of find a way to get around it. But if the concept is we need more people, we want more people to be a part of this community, we want more people to be more competitive and grow in the scene, and it's very discouraging for somebody starting out to just be caught with something that is not that doesn't cater to their interests or their growth, and then becoming part of the scene. So I totally get, for the sake of efficiency, for the sake of inclusion, that's a good idea. If you're asking me personally, I've always been skeptical of the notion of patches. To me, especially when games were harder back in the day, the notion having to find things to deal with those very difficult things to deal with was always very fun. And inevitably, it would allow you to sharpen your skill set, your tools in other areas indirectly. Like, as you're learning to deal with something that a lot of people consider to be too difficult or BS to deal with, as you're learning to deal with that specific problem, you're getting better at other things indirectly that you don't even realize. And next thing you know, your game is more complete, and it becomes very fun to deal with those types of problems personally. I know that not everybody thinks that way, but for me, patches dilute the complicated fun essence of the game. I think patches are more appropriate now than they would have been back then. If there are patches, for me personally, it would be about bettering characters that are obsolete. So for Marvel 2, you asked about Marvel 2. I wouldn't necessarily do anything to Magneto, to Sentinel, to Storm. What I would do is give Blackheart or Broken Tooth. I would make other characters be more top tier so that you would have more of a variety. You want to have more variety, which is always good. I wouldn't bring characters down. I would just build other characters up. Because
it's tough to actually do that, right? It's actually tough to actually just leave the character without patches, right? That's one of the things.
I mean, I think patches are necessary, but not so frequent. It's kind of like
what's not too frequent? Like a year?
You know what? Once a year, you're doing the updates and you're adding new characters. It's kind of similar to Street Fighter 4. Once a year, let us learn the character. Let us learn how to deal with this BS character, and we will figure out a way. We're humans. We adapt. We learn. But I heard a lot of pro players complain like, "Hey man, you're making a patch. Like, we didn't even learn this character." It's like, no, you release a character, and then like 2 months in, once a year, I feel it's pretty good. And as a TO, it's a nightmare. Freaking nightmare. You have to do patches. Some patches are short, cool, and then all of a sudden, some patches are 20-something gigabytes a week before your event.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man?
20,
like,
30 gigs,
you know my
baby.
event's coming up. Because you know my event's coming up. How the fuck am I supposed to do this 1 week? 30 PlayStations.
Yo, Tuesdays, man. Those Tuesdays.
It's like messed up. So I mean, cut some slack. But at the end of the day, I feel like, hey, play with the cards you have dealt. Like, we did it Street Fighter 2. We did it like Third Strike. You named the game. We figured it out, and we made a bad matchup a good matchup. But look at F-Champ, man. He makes his Dawson great, and he's out of shit matchups. And some days I see him beat Chao Hai. This 10-0 matchup. Figured it out. So just figure it out, and then when you win, it's just much more satisfying. That's my opinion.
Makes you better, and it overall makes your skill set better, because you have to adapt. You have to find ways, instead of somebody just handing you tools, to then make your job easier for you. I understand if something is just absolutely unreasonable, like if the game is glitched, like the game glitches or something, then yes, that needs to be addressed. But I just feel that a lot of these patches are, as it was mentioned, too frequent and often unnecessary, just because people don't want to grind out the necessary time to overcome the problems. I think patches are there are way too many of them nowadays, and they're very easily granted, in my opinion.
Me, I have a question for you.
I'm sorry, just real quick. Look at Marvel 3, right? Yes, Marvel 3 went from vanilla to ultimate. The game it's to this day is very highly celebrated, and very much like there's like a high sense of warmth from the community to that game. And there was a couple of deals, but there wasn't one patch in ultimate. It lasted 6-7 years after 2011, and we all know that the characters in there are so stupid and unreasonable. We know Virgil's bad. We know Zero's bad. Morgan's bad. Dark Phoenix is bad. Are unreasonable characters. But
Yeah, Magneto and Doom as well too.
I mean, we can get into a debate about that. But Magneto Doom, you need to put in time. Come on, Justin. You need to put in time. You need movement. Look, that aside, you didn't get one patch. How the tournaments, how the environment, the general opinion of Marvel 3. It was generally a good, solid opinion. In fact, I believe you said you actually deem it to probably be, correct me if I'm wrong here, probably the best game overall, right? Or at least one of the best games out there.
I would say Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is the best Marvel versus series of all time.
Right?
Yeah.
And no patch.
It was so hype, man. You know how broken it was? It's just
And
like
what
broken
about
versus broken. That's so awesome, man.
Yeah. Morrigan, you would have nerfed Morrigan. Neo, would you have nerfed Morrigan? Morrigan.
Absolutely. She needed to be nerfed.
Well, you know the thing about they made a community patch for Marvel 3, and I think everybody was like really excited for it, but it never took off, right? So it never took off. People still wanted to play the original version, and yeah, I mean Morgan is bad. Zero's bad, Virgil's bad, Phoenix, all these characters. But I mean, you still have so much character diversity where, people that play like KBR's team, my team, the Viper teams, like they still, Nemo's teams. It still worked. Like you still were able to do damage with those teams and win. You know what I mean? Like so. I feel like Marvel 3 definitely, like, in terms of having no patches for like 6-7 years it's a great testament of like not needing patches at the same time.
Exactly.
But they also did a great job,
that's
actually.
To me, that's my personal preference. I know that patches are sometimes necessary because things are sometimes too ridiculous. I get that. If we were just dealing with absolutes, I prefer no patches. Like, unless it's, the game broke down or there's a glitch where you literally can't move, then of course, and that's just, like Marvel 2 was a thing where like you could literally infinite a dead body until the timer, until there was a timer scan. So that was just prohibited. Don't do that because you're just defeating the purpose of actually fighting in the game.
I mean, we TOs can input the rules. Like if it's a glitch, these glitches are banned. And I call it a day and continue your play. It's not the end of the world. And you could just figure out your characters. It wasn't that bad. Marvel was so great to watch, even how broken it was. And still today, I want to see these top players play.
Yeah, the thing why I wanted patch is because some characters might not even get the chance to be selectable, right? So that's one of the things.
I think every character in any game after 2010 can be playable to a certain degree. Like you'll see every character in a game after 2010 represented in tournaments. Anything before 2010, no. Like you're not gonna see no Marvel 2 low tier ass characters in top 8 for sure. Or like even
people put time on that, right? People put time, and it was difficult game and all that. But let's say Marvel 2 was an easy game, right? It was an easy game that like a Street Fighter kindish, right? So do you think that you will see those characters be low tier, be on top, like sometimes?
I mean, what you're describing is pretty much the existence of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is easier to play compared to Marvel 2, and because of the mechanics that are there, these characters that you will normally never see be competitive in other Marvel games are actually competitive in these games. Like you will never see Hulk fucking win Evo in Marvel 2 or Marvel 1 or Marvel Superheroes, but you can see Hulk win Evo in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, he won actually.
Yeah, he won, right? He won, and then you like that's what I'm saying. You can't like what you're describing is literally Marvel's Capcom 3, right? It's a great game. Many characters get to shine. You know what I mean? I won with my fair, honest team with Wolverine, Storm, Akuma, right? So, yeah, I mean, there's so much. You know, obviously you have Nemo with the Doctor Strange. You have B from Canada with the Frank West, right? A lot of these characters, there's so many characters that were playable. Like Chris G lost to a Jill player at Evo. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then you can even do theme characters like Team Resident Evil, and then like what Scamby plays Team Resident Evil, and he's showing off those characters. So like it's cool. It's very good. Right. But okay, last question. Is it more fun to have the same top 8 players win every major tournament, or a mix-up where nothing is certain? From a spectator's point of view, I'm assuming.
Spectator.
Obviously, we don't want to see the same people win all the time, but we don't want to see a scrub beat a pro player. So it's a fine line.
I mean, I like seeing upsets. Upsets are fun.
A lot there.
Upsets are fun to watch. Like I love upsets. Like I mean, I felt like Martin's whole NCR run was upsets. Like Martin beating player A, Martin beating player B, Martin beating player C. They were all upsets.
Had the Deadpool no less.
Yeah.
It started from Deadpool. I lost money because of Marn, because I was just cybering against him the whole way. And we are in the same house too. Because I definitely know he's gonna be playing. Bro, he get out from pools, Deadpool first. I was like, oh shit, that's a lucky day, huh? and then and I was still cybering against him.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, he ran good.
Winning. He reached against K-Brown, I'm like, yeah, that's it, that's your end of the run. Definitely, this K-Brown, I lost like almost $1,000. People went, you can see the gift.
yeah, but you know, everyone loves an underdog, right? That's what it comes down to. Everyone loves an underdog. Like
Remember when Mena RD won?
What, Capcom Cup?
Yeah, and then he didn't do very well afterwards, and then everybody was kind of talking shit about it. I mean, his win was legit. It was offline. He beat like Tokido. Was it Tokido?
Yeah, he beat Tokido.
Right?
He beat Tokido in the winners and grand.
Yeah, and Tokido was winning every tournament. It was great upset to see it, but at the same time, why were so many people so upset about it?
Because
I don't know. I feel like people were upset about it because of the way Mena played. Right, the way Mena plays is it's not very clean. It's obviously very bulldogish. So, you know, obviously people are gonna say like, oh, he's a scrub. And then, I mean, also a lot of people hated Mena because you remember that one year at CEO where Mena beat Daigo, but Mena also teabagged Daigo to beat him. So a lot of people obviously felt disrespected because, you know, Daigo's the Lord and Savior. So because he's the Lord and Savior, you cannot disrespect Dai Lord and Savior.
and also winning against beating people like Tokido also, because they when you beat Tokido, people are against you, right? Because they love Tokido, right? People love just watching the demon, like the demon face playing and all that. They happy. So playing against Japanese players also, people will hate you because they prefer like rooting for Japanese players than you, right? Usually that's what happens because Japanese are Japanese gods, and the fact that he won that and people were hating him is one of the reasons, like I mentioned earlier, and also what Justin mentioned also, right? So but he got better. He got better and also at that time he did not know how to speak English properly. So the language barrier was also there. So now that he knows how to speak English properly, and prove himself that he's actually a true worthy champion, right? So people started loving him. So that's one of the things. And he also doing good things for the community. Not only here, he's doing good things in the community over there, making sure that the Republic Dominican is actually shown, represented. The players are there. He's sponsoring players. I think people understand now what he's doing, and also before that he was also like he was actually like a not to be disrespectful, but he was like a kid, right? He was like maybe 16, 15. So that's also that plays around. But now it's more mature, so he knows how to handle stuff. And kudos to him.
On the MRD thing, I think it was exciting because a lot of people wanted to see somebody, like a kid, win at that moment. But I think the hate comes from, or the criticism comes from the fact that he has like a high level of disregard for risk reward. Often plays extremely risky, and it makes for exciting gameplay. But then you take somebody like Taquito, who's traditionally very calculated, plays oftentimes like a robot, right? And tries to measure risk reward, literally almost finds every single thing, including like his distance from the screen with like an actual measuring tape. And sometimes when people see somebody that's so calculated lose to a high risk reward, it's off-putting. Like, I think that's where the hate comes from. But personally, about the question for what type of top 8, I personally like to see in a top 8 6 players at the highest level, highest skill cap level, and two combustible elements, 2 of them that could mix things up, that could throw wrenches in the plan, that are landmines along the way. Because that both a consistent display of skill, high level skill for everybody to enjoy, and I think it's a good testament to like the more work and the better you understand the game defensively, you're going to be rewarded. Then it's also good to have a show where somebody like Marn, who's very volatile and he doesn't care how good you are, he's going to do what he's going to do, and like he said, turn his brain off, just makes for good entertainment as well. So my formula, what I like to see typically, whether I'm a spectator or like if I'm commentating something, it's 6-2. 6 high-level skill players that quote-unquote deserve to be up there, and 2 people that are just gonna mess things up for everybody. Like I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
4 and 4. If I could have 4 of the usual suspects up there and 4 no names up there, I think that'd be awesome. And then we'll see wins at the end, because obviously they're veterans, but sometimes the new guys need a chance too, and I guess that's what Street Fighter 5 does, instead of keeping it all the same all the time.
Yeah, for me, basically, it depends. It depends on the game. If it's a really solid game, usually you see the same people there, maybe one player that gets in there, right? Like for example, let's say Marvel 2, you will see almost same people, and then one person just get in there. DBZ, we will see usually it's almost the same grand finals, right? If it happens, right? Like it's between usually Sonic Fox and Goichi, or Sonic Fox and what is it? The other Cyclops player.
For something with F. Fenrich.
Yeah, Fenrich. So you can see that they put in more time on that. They understand the game better. And then that's one of the things that I want to see. But for example, Street Fighter, right? I definitely, because I know the game is made that way, I just want to see craziness, right?
You want to see chaos
everywhere. As a player, I just as a spectator, I just want to. Oh shit, who's gonna be even in top 8? Oh my god, maybe Punk's gonna lose to random. Alex player. You see what I mean? So it's fun to watch those things. So because of it.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like that's always good.
So we were talking about like Street Fighter 5 and some of these like criticisms for being random or whatnot. But I'm being honest. When I'm at a tournament, that's one of the games that I get excited about like the top 8 starts in 30 minutes. We gotta eat quickly, bro. I'm not about to miss this because I know that the crowd and the way that they react, the situations people are about to be put under. Like, I forgot what tournament it was. It was like 2 people. I think it might have been at the beginning of Street Fighter V, and then the character wasn't working, so they went to Mika, and I remember the crowd's reaction when they went Rainbow Mika. The whole crowd went because they know they're about to command grab, they're about to put a person in the corner, and God bless them, good luck on what's gonna happen. So, like, as a spectator, I'm like, it's time for roulette, baby. Here we go. So.
I mean, that's mainly what you guys want to see. You want, like, I mean, from a spectator's point of view, obviously the random godlike characters are always nice, right? Because obviously it's cool to have the Daigos and the Taquitos, and you know they'll be in the top 8s. But sometimes, you know, I like to see the really risky, flashy players. You know what I mean? Like, even though, like, you know, let's say Kichipamu, right? Kichipamu, Zangief play. He made Evo top 8. Okay, Evo top 8 with Zangief. Amazing, right? Amazing. Everyone loved it. He beat bad matchups throughout the whole tournament, and you know, he was flashy. He was cool. He was really nice. You know, it's just.
You guys play each other?
Oh yeah, I played my. I played him. I played in my Canada Cup.
How was it?
I beat him 10-1.
Oh wow.
Who? Which geek?
Kichipamu.
Oh.
Yeah, I beat him 10-1. You know, Evo finalist, top 8. That's obviously nice. You know, he worked hard. You know, tournament sets and first 10s are obviously very different. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he was really mind fucked when he played me. But I beat a lot of Japanese players at that tournament, actually. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I was streaming a lot, playing Poison, and you know I beat what? I think I beat who else did I beat Luffy. I beat Moke. I beat Nemo. I beat JB. I literally beat majority of the people that qualified for Capcom Cup with Poison. But because obviously we are casual players, you know what I mean? My time is up. I'm a tournament organizer, podcast runner, you know, girl dad,
Streamer,
Marble streamer. You know, I just play games. I just play speedrunner. I just play casual. You know, I play casual games, and you know, if yeah, it's not my fault. If
I'm a champion.
Yeah, it's not my fault that you lost to me. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think like from a spectator's point of view, I love watching tournaments. Like I'm a huge fan of watching tournaments, especially where there's not many of the same players. I prefer not many of the same players, just because I like seeing just underdogs and new fresh, and understanding how other players actually maybe want to get better at come up. So stuff like that's pretty cool. But that is the end of the show. Yeah, that's the end of the show. Hope you guys had a great time. Lapchi, you looking like you hurt, actually. Yeah.
I'm drinking slow. No one's drinking with me. I'm gonna go online and donate some money. Somebody can drink with me or something, man. I don't know. My night has just started, man. I did so much work today.
That's good.
Yeah, no. Yeah, thanks a lot. Did we cover everything?
Yeah, we covered.
Do I have any final questions?
I think we covered most of the things, and like obviously, if you guys didn't know, Lapchi talked about he pretty much handed over Canada Cup over to his good old silent partner friend, and you know before the stream we talked about how he wants to actually just play, right? Just play and have fun and enjoy, and actually learn how to play Blanca. He's gonna be in the Father's Day tournament. Hopefully he's gonna enter. We'll see. He signed up. So there's that. And then Neo. Yeah. What's up? What do you guys say?
Other than that, I mean, yeah, Canada Cup's been like 10 long years. So yeah, I'm finally gonna step away, the back seat, somebody else run it all. I don't think those talk about their job a whole lot, but it's like 10 years, 1,000 hours, 1,000 hours, 15% of my life into like, you know, running tournaments. And the final goal was to put Canada on the map, and I think I did that. And
Yeah, I mean, you definitely did, because
that's all I
Canada.
need, you know?
Yeah, you definitely did put Canada on the map. I think when it came down to like esports in general, like no one really talks about Canada, right? And then because you had Canada Cup, right, in all throughout pretty much all over the country of Canada, right? Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto. So like because you did all that, I mean, you definitely put in a lot of work, you know what I mean? And you know, we still come out to your events. I still have amazing fun at Canada all the time. You know, I win a lot of your money there because you want to play drinking games. But
Party too hard. You know, Canada Cup is all about partying, man. No one even cares about the tournament sometimes.
they don't. I mean, when you have your April duels at a gaming bar, it's a wrap. It's over. Right? It's over. And then you obviously have Neo. Well, I'm waiting for Neo to visit. Neo's supposed to come visit one day, maybe. We'll see. Hopefully.
One day.
We'll drink some more, Neo. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait till this COVID-19 ends. We can actually sit, out, have some beers, and chit chat, and just shoot the shit like today.
And all you can eat Korean barbecues, or non all you can eat Korean barbecues.
And you know what? When you guys come here, I'll take you to the Korean barbecues, the good ones. I think it's better than Wagyu beef here because you know we have the best beef in Alberta. But you know, come on down. Hopefully the next event that gets thrown will be Street Fighter and Marvel. But yeah, let's party it up, man. Other than that, yeah, that's all I gotta say today, man. It's a blast chatting with you guys.
How about you, Neo? Any last words?
Just thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to come here on your stream. And something that you guys said, it's sucky right now. It's 2020 hasn't been the best to us, but at the same time, it's good to stay in and be safe. So we are able to share. Justin provides us for a lot of different purposes, and I'm very happy to be part of the podcast. So thank you for having me. And also can't wait for this whole COVID thing to die down so we can meet up.
How about you, Almakashi?
First of all, I want to thank everyone that we are here basically, and thanks for Justin to organize this podcast. It was a really fun podcast one. Besides that, I want to make sure that everyone's safe out there, right? To be safe. Make sure that because of the COVID situation, we have to wear the mask, wash your hands like at least 20 seconds, stuff like that. Just make sure to follow the regulations. And I know besides that, we have like Black Lives Matters that is going on. So make sure to voice out, right? Voice out there. Make sure that the voice are heard.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we did a 24-hour stream, and Almakashi almost broke my computer at the end.
The stream.
It was pretty close. He almost broke my computer. His cat kept hitting the sub button. Yo. But yeah, he definitely almost broke my computer. It was godlike, and obviously he knew that. I mean, he knew I was gonna do this 24-hour crazy stuff.
Yeah, so I was waiting for you to reach the end to actually do that completely, like just go ham, because also.
I mean, I was hurting, man. I was hurting.
Having you doing 24-hour stream just for the Black Lives Matter, right? The topic. So it was actually awesome, right? So not many people have that courage, even the time to do so, right? So thank you for that, and I will always appreciate you. You are awesome, man.
Of course, man. You're my best man, obviously, and obviously I would do anything with you. You pretty much, slid in my DMs on Facebook, pretty much, and hey, what's up? What's good? What we doing? You know what I mean? Tuesdays are always the best days, and shit like that. It's always a blast, and obviously, 2020 is it's a very dangerous year, right? With COVID and everything that's happening with Black Lives Matters, but like obviously I can't do much. But what I can do is provide a online network to get people more aware of the situation and also support the cause. So that's really the best thing I could do, and I do hope that I did my part, like personally. I mean, obviously I want to do more, and always want to get more people aware, and even just be more safe, because it's about being positive. It's always about being positive. I like being positive, right? And then shout out to our man's Max in the chat. My man Max in the chat gifted 10 subs just right now, and I think Max I think Max still owes me 4 dinners from
Everyone owes you dinners, huh?
yeah, Max owes me 4 dinners, I believe, and Neo owes me 6. So
What about Mark?
Oh, Martin owes me 6 as well.
Oh man.
Pontanium owes me 5.
I gotta move to Vegas soon.
Yeah, Pontanium owes me 5 dinners. So what? That's 6, 12, 16, 21. No, yeah, 21. Damn, that's crazy. That's
I
a
owe
lot
you
of dinners.
shit, man.
You don't owe me. I mean, you don't owe me shit, but usually you do owe me stuff when you challenge me in Street Fighter 4
Don't go
drinking.
there.
Yeah. What? So yeah, I
I'm gonna get
mean,
revenge, man. I'm gonna mess you up, bro. But we're gonna play on live camera, and you will see me do the shots, and you will do the exact same. And this time I'm gonna mess you up.
I don't think so.
Trust me.
I don't think so. But
That covers everything, eh?
yeah, but big. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Neo?
6?
Yeah, 6.
That's one. What is that? That's one Bacchanal, right?
Yeah, 5 dinners is 1 Bacchanal. So 1 Bacchanal, one McDonald's.
Oh.
Yeah, I love you, Max. You already know, man. We gotta go to Cantor's to get the matzo balls.
All right, I gotta do something here.
What do you gotta do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
No, we'll. Wow, 6 dinner. All right.
What do I have? Do I have anything on my phone? Oh, we have a roulette wheel.
Yo, I want in.
Look, oh my God.
We have a roulette wheel.
All right, let me. Hold on, I gotta pace myself here. Hold on, just before we go, let me.
Place your bets.
I
Black-
want
black or red?
$100 back. I want $100 on
$100? No, we're not betting. We're not betting food. I just want to bet the dinners that Neo owes me. Red or black.
I'm only. Yeah. No one. I'm only gonna go to 7 or 5. That's the only one. I'm pacing myself.
You're only doing one dinner.
Dump and Neo, don't be a bitch.
One dinner.
No, 6. 6, all of it. All, so you get out. If you want to, you get out. No, come on, 6.
Oh,
Come on,
that's too bad.
bitch. Don't be a bitch.
Boss. Do it like a boss, man.
Just do it, bro. 6. Just go 6. That's your chance.
Good.
Oh my God.
Why are you so scared? What you gotta lose?
No, because I already know that later he might do marbles. It's not gonna end here.
What's possible?
No, just do it. Just do 6.
Wait, you hear that? You hear that music?
Yeah.
Brings back memories.
Place your bets, everybody.
Neo.
I'm gonna do 2. No, that's it.
Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. 1, 2. Just go. Otherwise you lose. You got it. Now, bro, you don't even on. If you win, you go on.
Losing 6 and losing 12 are the exact same.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, man.
Oh, you go 0. There you go.
Yeah, all you guys do is the same thing. Even if you win 2 or 2, that's okay. Just
Trying to do trick damage.
no, bro. Don't care about the damage. You
it's
only
not gonna
live
end here.
once. YOLO. You only live once. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process.
Okay, you're right. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2
Yeah.
dinners. Okay, can I get?
No, bro, come on.
Okay, but I'm the only one doing it. What are you?
Yeah, but I'm giving you because I'm
I
giving you.
wanted to bet $100, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not trying to go ahead because I know this is gonna keep going to the market.
No. I'm telling you, just do 6, and then Justin's gonna cry that he lost 6. That's the goal. Let's do it.
I already know you. I'm gonna be like, listen, you know 2 or 3 of those are mine because I got him to give you 6. You can keep 9, but give me 3. Yeah!
No. I'm not gonna do that. I'm definitely not gonna do that. Just take 6.
Be a boss for once, Neo. Just one time.
One time. That's it. 6.
One time, that's it, man. One time, Neo.
Look at this. Thanks. Just do it.
You can do
That's
it.
my man. That's my man, bro.
Okay, let's ask the stream, man. You think Neo should do 6, press 1. If you think he should do the 2, press 2.
I mean, everyone's gonna press 1.
Everyone's
Wow,
gonna
yeah.
want to see
Everyone's
what-
gonna press
Peer
1.
the pressure. Peer the fuck pressure, bro. There you go. Look, see? Got you guys with 2s on there.
Yeah.
There you go. You're outnumbered now. For this, Neil, if you lose, I would treat you for a steak dinner at Canada Cup. Oh wow, next time you're in town.
That's what I'm talking about. The backing of the beach.
Not one of those cheap dinners, the one that Justin did, the 32 ounces. Except for next time, he's doing 50 ounces.
I did the 50 ounce or whatever you did.
The bone? With the bone in?
How am I supposed to eat the bone? Am I supposed to eat the bone?
Oh, you didn't clean the bone! Wait a few ounces extra on top, but whatever. Alright, yeah, back to Neil.
Okay, I will do the 6, but you guys also gotta do something.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Well, it's up to Justin.
What do you
got
mean?
beer behind me.
Why do I have to participate in betting with all 3? Why is it 3 against 1? Why isn't it just 1v1?
Exactly.
Because you're
I
the one.
will support you. I will support you, Neo. I will support you. Anyway, we're going to roulette all the time. We're playing poker and all that. Going all in double or nothing. What's the problem on that? You never win. Sometimes you win a lot. So it's the same shit. Let's make it a deal. Trust me.
Poker is
You trust me.
Do you want to do a test bet?
As a friend, you don't trust me.
Do you want to do a test bet? You want to do a test bet, Neo? Like, you know, just to choose for funsies, to see how the rolls are.
Yeah, just do one.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just do the 6.
No. Just I mean, this is a free play one.
We're still gonna do it. It's just.
Okay,
Nasser, you
let's.
want to bet me $50?
You want to bet 50? Yeah, you can bet $50.
Nasser,
Yeah.
want to bet me 50? You need to win your money back. I always take your money. I take your money every time. Here's your chance.
Yeah. Let's do
You
it.
have not won anything from me.
I want to take my money back too. Let's do it. Let's do it 100.
You get away with your money all the time. So what you want to bet? High or low?
I want to take my money back too.
I want low. You wanna play? I want low.
No, it's either red or black. Red or black.
Red or black?
Red or black.
You're gonna pick black, aren't you?
I'm thinking. I always pick black no matter what, so I'm going with black.
I always pick black too.
I'm going red then, man.
Black
Oh.
I'm gonna go black.
All right, let's
$50,
see.
right?
Right?
Wait.
And then-
Hold up. What are we doing here? What is this the test?
No, this is them 2 betting.
Yeah, but you're still betting 6.
No,
right?
but Neil, which one? I mean, Neil, if you want to bet, I'm down to bet. I got nothing to lose.
Okay, there we go. Now it's fair.
You know what? We're gonna do one shot. No luck, no test. Just one shot. That's it.
So you want to bet 6?
Yeah.
Chuck,
So you're betting 6 dinners, Neil.
what you guys betting on?
So yeah, what do you want? What do you want, Neil? You said you want black, right? Okay, so you have black. Nasser has black. I have red. Lapchi has red, and you and then you guys and then
That's the process.
wait,
We're gonna make it happen.
and then wait, how much you guys are betting? 50 or 100?
US dollars, 50.
$50.
Okay.
You want to do 100? If you want to do 100, I'll do 100.
Monopoly dollars.
Okay, let's do 50.
See, okay.
All right, here we go. Here's a spin, guys. 6 dinners and $50 on the line for red or black. Look.
And a dinner. Let's go, Neo. Let's go. Let's go, Neo.
Man, I can't see shit. Spinning?
It's
Where's
black.
the camera?
It's black. It's black. It's black. It's black number 2. Black number 2.
Why that low? Why would they hit low, man?
Yo, Neil, why Neil looks so stressed? Like,
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
you see? Look how easy that was, Neil.
You owe me one dinner. You owe me one dinner. You owe me one dinner.
What?
You owe me one dinner because I made sure that you lost.
What happened? What did I say?
Yeah. I don't care. You were so stressed.
Alright.
Alright, well,
Send me your PayPal.
Wow, that lab got body.
yeah, that laptop body.
I'm still up like $500 on you, so whatever, man.
Wow.
The little jet, the little.
I keep taking a jab a little bit, and chip you out until I get back my money.
Look at that. Look at that. So he wants to chip him out, and I want to chip you out. And he goes, no, the whole thing, one spin. He gets to chip him out.
I mean, Nasser is the king of peer pressure. You know that, right? That's the king of peer pressure right there. But yeah, thank
He's
you.
not drinking no alcohol.
He doesn't drink alcohol. I told you, he sips it. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. Obviously, we got a lot of stuff done, a lot of stuff talked about. A lot of stress has been gone from Neo. So I mean, we'll get back up to 6 dinners and marbles anyway later. But yeah, big shout out to all you guys for coming in, tuning in. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll probably come back maybe later tonight. If not, if I don't come back, I'll come back tomorrow. We shall see. I mean, yeah, we streamed a lot today. But other than that, man, I love you guys. Stay safe. Make sure you guys give a follow to everybody. On Twitter at Chi Duong, and then Twitter at Almakashi. Neo don't have a Twitter, so my bad. But other than that, man, I must actually, guys, I've been watching like the retro channel a lot actually, I would say, on just Twitch. How Twitch has categories. It's like on retro sections. So there's a retro section where like actually a bunch of speedrunners. So I actually been enjoying just like random speedrunners. So I'm gonna send you to this person who is speedrunning Ninja Gaiden. It's a pretty hard game.
Oh, which one? 2?
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send you to X Christine, and then yeah, I think she's going ham on Ninja Gaiden right now. So we're gonna send you to her, and other than that, man, I will see you guys later today. All right, guys. You guys show some love to the speedrun community because obviously I'm a speedrunner now. Before we did the stream, guys, I actually beat Marvel vs. Capcom 2 blindfolded.
Really?
In 20 minutes. It took 20 minutes, but I beat it blindfolded.
Nice. We're trying to do the record, right? The points?
No, I was trying to do the points. I beat the arcade score. So yeah, Costa Rica got bodied. But the Dreamcast one's really hard. 3 billion is really hard. But we'll try it again another day. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Chat, like I said, thank you guys for watching. Show X Christine some love. You guys know what to do. You know what I mean? Ruin her run in the speedrun community. Please ruin her run. I would love for her to start over. But other than that, man, I will see you guys later. Peace out.
Hey, man, send